Okay, now we're going to do our brunch segment. This is Viva La Vida, and we are going to be doing brunch in South Florida. So what's better than brunch in South Florida? Well, Eggs Benedict, but no, we're not going to do Eggs Benedict. We're going to be doing Crabby Benedict.
And you know, what a great way to be able to incorporate an ingredient, because normally it's ham, right? You've seen salmon, you've seen all different types of Benedict fusions. But being down here, we thought that crab, and it's kind of that combination of more popular choices, which is crab cakes and Benedict. Yep. So what are we going to then, I guess, call this?
Crabby Benedict.
All right, so let's get going with that. Crabby Benedicts. Of course, I'm Bill Castro and Mark Abbott. We're down here with Viva La Vida. This is our out of home. This is a way we're sharpening our pencils to come back with. And who knows, brunch can be something that can be done Saturdays, Sundays. It can be done about any day, right?
Absolutely.
Yes.
All right. So let's go to it. Okay, so starting off, I'm going to make the crab cakes. That's the thing that's going to take the longest part of this. So I'm going to get it going and then start going with the other ingredients that's going with that. So right here, I've got the bread, and I just kind of toasted this. This is plain white bread. I toasted it, and I'm going to cut the crust off of it here, and then I'm going to lay it down in this plate here, and I'm just going to pour some milk over it, and that's just going to soften it. Okay, so rather than breadcrumbs, we're just going to use this softened bread. Okay, that should do it. And in this container here, I'm just going to go ahead and start adding the ingredients that we're going to use there. Now in here, I've got a third of a cup of mayonnaise. Okay, go ahead and put that in there. I've got Dijon mustard, about a teaspoon, I guess, of Dijon mustard. Just put that in there. Now in that also, I'm going to add Old Bay. Now, you know, everybody's heard of Old Bay, and actually there's even a recipe, an Old Bay recipe. Now, I've kind of changed it a little bit, but one part of it is that you put in 2 teaspoons of Old Bay seasoning. Now, that's your major seasoning, so you don't want to add any salt or anything like that to it. So, also, I'm going to add 1 beaten egg. Add that in there. Okay.
Now this is to make the crab cake, right? Or
right.
The crabby part, I guess.
Crabby Benedict. Yeah.
So we're making the crabby part.
We're just making the crab cakes right now. So okay, these breadcrumbs are softened, so we're just going to break those up really good in there, and then we'll mix it in. So you don't want to have a whole lot of filling for the crab cakes. It's going to be more crab than anything else. In fact, I think I might have enough there. That was a pretty good sized piece of bread. So we're going to go ahead and mix that into it really good and break it all up so that we've got a mixture like this. Then the only other thing that I'm going to add to that now is I've got 2 tablespoons of parsley. So I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of parsley to that.
Now, Mark, would you say this is almost 2 recipes in once? Because we're learning how to make crab cakes as well.
Exactly. Oh, yeah. And, yeah, you can use the crab cakes for anything else also. Now, this is going to make 8 crab cakes because I'm going to make them kind of thin. Not like the big crab cakes that you normally see. These are going to be smaller crab cakes, and I'm going to make them thinner also than what you would normally make them because I want them to fit on the English muffin. So we've got that all mashed up there good. That bread is all mixed into it real good. So then to that, I'm just going to add a pound of crab.
So let's talk crab. Let's talk crab, Mark. Now, here we are using crab out of a can. Let's talk a little bit about the kind and what you suggest, and you know, there's a quality product.
Lump crab cake, or lump crab is kind of the medium crab that you would find in the can. But you know, even if you want to go less expensive, the claw meat is also very, very good also. So I wouldn't be so particular on what kind of crab that you use in the crab cake. So we've got that all mixed in here really good like this. So I'm just going to go ahead and kind of divide that out into eight portions.
And we're doing that to, again, make the crab cakes. And, you know, what we're trying to do is make these easy for you, right? Easy steps that you're able to already have these ingredients, as we're going to list the ingredients that you need to purchase for these, and make it so that you can even make these ahead of time, right, Mark?
Oh, yeah. You know, you really, that is probably the best way to do these crab cakes for a Crabby Benedict, is make them ahead of time. Don't quite finish them, and then you can just finish those in the skillet the day that you're going to be doing. So the night before, if you want to make up your crab cakes, maybe even use some of them for an appetizer the night before, and then the next morning use up the rest of them, finish them off, and we're going to have really great Crabby Benedict. So I've got all that out of here now, so I've got it kind of portioned out here for 8 of them. I'm only going to do 2 of them right now. So we're just going to take this here, and I'm going to go ahead and get my skillet turned up here a little bit.
And what are we doing temperature-wise here? And
about medium.
Medium.
Medium on an electric skillet.
And you're forming them now, right?
Forming them here just like that. So as you can see, it's almost all crab. Almost all crab. So let's just go ahead and put
And that's not only a trick, that should be a sense of quality, correct? I mean, some establishments make crab cakes with a lot of filler, right?
Oh, you know, I've seen recipes that people, you know, that for this amount of crab, they say 2 cups of breadcrumbs. Well, you're eating breadcrumbs more than you're eating crab, so limit the amount, and I say use fresh bread. Just toast that bread a little bit so that it'll really absorb the milk into it, and then we put it in here. So what I'm going to try to do here now is form these out so that they're pretty good size, big around, so they're going to fit perfectly on the English muffin. So while we're letting that cook, I'm going to start here now with the hollandaise sauce. The hollandaise sauce.
Now, you know, people get afraid when you say that. Everyone loves it, but
yeah, there's really nothing to make a hollandaise sauce. I mean, you take some egg yolks, butter, and you mix all that slowly, you know, into the butter. You mix it up good. You know, it's really very simple to make, but I'm not going to go into all that.
So we're going to show the Viva La Vida members the shortcut.
The shortcut. Okay, the shortcut is going to be, I'm going to take a cup of milk, 1 cup of milk here, and put it on. I've already got that burner going, and I'm just going to use the packaged hollandaise sauce.
Can you give me a little clue?
Everybody's seen this. It's in every grocery store. And we're going, before it gets real hot here, I'm going to go ahead and add the powder to it there.
So 1 full envelope, correct? And that's going to be for about 8.
Yes.
So that's let's say brunch for 4.
That's going to be brunch for 4. Yeah. Yeah. So we'll go ahead and get that stirred in there really good. And once it gets almost to a boil, then I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of butter to it. So 1/4 cup of butter.
Okay.
Okay. Just got to make sure that all that is dissolved.
And yeah, you got to keep stirring it, right? Because if not, it'll get lumpy. So you want to keep it, you want to thicken it, and everything is in there, but you just can't walk away.
Right. So I'm going to kind of walk away here for, as soon as it gets almost to the boil there, that's when I'll go ahead and add the butter to it. Okay. And the butter will cool it down a little bit again. So then we have to continue to stir it once we add the butter into it.
And for the crab cakes right now, we're really just wanting to kind of sear that bottom layer, right, before we do anything. Yeah. Maybe you could bring it over here for me just so that I can...
I mean, it's far from, far from being done right now.
Sure.
And I want it to set before I even try to turn it.
Correct. Okay.
So awesome. Then, one thing I can just go ahead and have it started here. I just took an English muffin. Now, if you're doing this for 4 people, you're going to do 4 English muffins cut in half. That's going to be 8 pieces. So, unless you got a bigger toaster than what I have, you're going to have to do that in stages. Or, if you have an air fryer, you could put it on a shelf in the air fryer. You could toast the bread in there, or you could do it in the oven also. You have to really watch it really close if you're doing it in the oven. So, I'm not going to put that down yet. What I am going to start here now is the eggs, and so a little tip on the eggs. If you take your egg and you crack it into a cup like this, it's easier to keep the shape of the egg.
So this is now using the next step, which is poaching the egg, correct?
Right.
So we've got the crab cakes on. We've got the hollandaise, and we just turned down a little bit of the heat. We've got the muffins ready in the toaster, or however you wanted to do, because that's kind of like the last step, right?
Right.
And then the eggs, and that, the eggs are just as important, right? Because you don't want to overcook them, you don't want to undercook them. And so your trick, at least one of them, is that you crack it into a small dish, correct?
That way it's easy to slide it into the water, and you want that water to where it's just starting to boil. Not boiling, but just starting to boil. And another thing I always add to it also, to the water, is just a little bit of vinegar.
Vinegar, wow.
Vinegar.
And what's that
It
doing?
helps in keeping that egg kind of together, and it's just a trick that really works well in making poached eggs.
Okay, perfect. Okay.
So we're still waiting for this to boil. Maybe I need to turn that up just a little bit. Working on that hollandaise sauce, and those crab cakes are cooking really good. Let me see if I might be able to even turn those yet.
And we're really doing this all at once, just so that, of course, you're able to see this. But this doesn't have to be a 3-ring circus. You could be working on just doing the crab cakes. Focus on
absolutely.
that. Make them be easy for you to work with.
Look at those. Look at those. Now, from there, I'm going to go ahead and turn the heat down so that it's going to take a little bit longer before I get everything else done. So these will probably be done by the time I get everything else.
But for that first searing, they form now, right?
Absolutely. They're formed.
Yeah.
It's easy to turn, and they're ready to go.
All right. So, Mark, let's say again, we just wanted to have some great crab cakes. We could really pretty much exit the Benedict part, because we're showing 2 recipes, and we're really making it a fusion of 2 wonderful brunch options.
Okay.
So we just put
Now I just put the butter into the hollandaise sauce. So this is what's going to make it really nice and creamy. And
maybe we can get a little closer shot in that, and we'll just kind of hold it out here just for a minute. Perfect.
See? Look, it's starting to look like hollandaise sauce.
There we go.
See, not thick yet, but
Okay.
it's getting there. It's getting there.
All right.
So by the time we have everything else ready, it will be ready also.
Okay.
I just want to kind of stir it here until the butter is all melted in there. Now, how more easy can you get that? That's this easy peasy hollandaise sauce.
Well, for easy, it sure smells wonderful. Wonderful.
Okay, so now next, okay, that is about ready to start boiling.
And this is where we
And that's
started
where I
with the crab cakes.
adjusting that heat a little bit more. So
Okay.
we'll go ahead and right in here, just very easily put that right there. Okay. Might need a little
Again,
more
so
heat there.
you just did just a little bit. About how much water do we have in there?
Oh,
'Cause-
it's about a half an inch thick.
okay.
Okay, we've got that in there. Let me just let that. I think I should have had that water boiling just a little bit more, because it's not doing anything right here right now. So let's just give that a minute so that I
Okay.
can push some of that on there before I put the other one in there.
Again,
So,
remember, we're doing 3-ring circus here, which you don't have to do. You could have the crab cakes already waiting and formed. You could have the hollandaise sauce already to the side.
Look at that, how it's nice and getting nice and thick there now. And if it gets too thick on you, you could always add just a little bit more milk to that also. But this is just about the way that you want to have that hollandaise sauce.
Perfect.
So I'm just going to turn the heat down on that so that it's just going to keep it warm there.
So we're just going to let it rest. We're going to let it form in a low heat. And our crab cakes are also in that form right now.
Yeah.
Okay. And once Mark forms these a little bit, we'll just have it come over.
Yeah, I was way off on my poaching here. But it's still going to work fine. I'm going to turn
And
it up
that's
here
what
a little
happens sometimes. Sometimes you go on and it's how you quickly recover. And in poaching, they even have different little forms, right, Mark, that you can poach and you can...
Poach. I mean, a lot of times when you buy a set of pans, there's a little poaching thing that you put on top of another pan, and those work great too. So, you know, if you want those where they're going to be perfect looking poached eggs, you know, I would suggest doing something like that too. But this is going to work. Let's see, I just need more heat there. That's just all there is to it.
Well, we can very easily start, and I always say...
Well, what I'm going to do here now is I'm going to go ahead and get the
muffins?
The muffins going.
Okay.
Yep.
Now, Mark, in this scenario, what does Mr. C usually come into the kitchen with when he's hungry for lunch or dinner? What's he usually say? He comes in and say, "Has there any mistakes?"
Oh, okay.
Because sometimes, as we have, let's say the poached egg didn't come out the best. Well, it still is going to taste wonderful. And sometimes even the mistakes are just as good. Right, Mark?
Exactly. Now, well, sometimes the mistakes are even better, but...
I agree. But my dad has that saying. He'll walk in and say, "Okay, who's got a mistake? I'm having that for lunch."
So what is my response usually? I say, well, what kind of mistake do you want us to make for you?
All right.
Okay. So the hollandaise sauce is done. So I'm just going to...
Okay, so we're done with that.
Turn that off completely. I'm going to turn these crab cakes up just a little bit more now so that they continue to cook. And yeah, now we've got where it's just now starting to boil, so I'm going to go ahead and turn that down. I'm going to add my other egg to that. Okay.
All right.
And we'll let that continue to go. Okay, the English muffins are working here. Now, what am I going to do with that? You know, a nice thing to maybe have along with the English muffins might be a grape mango.
So some fruit.
Some fruit. You know, you might want to do a banana with it also. Who knows? I mean, pineapple. Anything goes nice with it.
Kiwi.
But kiwi would be great, right? So, you know, that's what you want to kind of have with this. You know, some people I know for breakfast, they want home fries and all that. I think it's too heavy. There's too much going on with the Crabby Benedict. So some nice fruit is what is really going on.
That would be a perfect balance because this is pretty much a complete meal. And,
Yes.
you know, if you're going to serve that up for brunch, you almost want a little bit more than what you would have at breakfast, but maybe not as much as you would be enjoying for lunch, right?
Yep, right. Okay, let's just take that now and just kind of bring some of that water up and around these poached eggs. Need to get underneath that one there. Okay, there, we got it loosened there. The other one's going to be, yeah, we've got these ready here.
Now, you know, Mark, another trick is these small little individual pans that are maybe 6-inch circumference or so on. You could even do those. It would take you longer. Let's say, obviously with 8, it'd be a little bit harder if you're having a brunch with guests. But you could pretty much do a smaller pan, right, Mark?
Absolutely.
And that would already keep that egg in shape as far as the denomination of the muffin too.
Okay, look at these. These are ready. Look, I want to just show you even when I turn them over. Look at that.
Oh, beautiful.
That's how you want them to look. So those are going to be cooked all the way through now. So what I'm going to do is put those right on top of that English muffin.
Deal. So here today, 2 recipes for 1. So the main question here is, what came first? Crab cakes or Benedict?
Benedict probably came.
Benedict.
No, I don't know.
This is like asking what came first,
Hey, you
the
know
chicken or the egg?
I think we should have everybody kind of answer that question
Themselves. Right.
So
I mean,
send it to us. Send us what the answer is. Was it the Benedict or the crab cake?
That's right. And then you can answer the egg or the chicken. Either way, it's going to be a wonderful brunch that you're going to be able to enjoy. So let's see what we've got plated up so far.
Now, I'm going to go ahead. Now, I like my eggs pretty soft on this. Now, all the white is completely done, but the yolk is still pretty runny. So that's perfect for me.
And that's
if you want it more than that, if you want it more than that, you can always put a lid on here. That would cook the yolk a lot more. But I like seeing that yolk right on top of it.
Beautiful.
Okay, so we'll just.
That's okay.
Yeah, we'll just.
It looks beautiful from here.
Whoop.
That's good.
Okay, well, I'll get it here. Okay, there we go. Okay,
Perfect.
now
Let's see those before you put the hollandaise sauce on there. So that way
hollandaise.
we have a great way to be able to look at this. Beautiful.
Okay,
Just beautiful, Mark.
hollandaise sauce. Put that right on top of here. Look at that. And actually, that hollandaise sauce will cook those yolks just a little bit, just right on top there. But look at that. So leave enough for the hollandaise sauce there for the other 6. So what we would do is, at this point, I would have made, if I was going to make this for 8 or for 4 people, I would have had all of those in here. And you could have fit all 8 of those crab cakes in here. Now you'd have to do a bigger pan for the poaching of the eggs. But anyway, that's how we've done it here. So now, what do you want to garnish it with? You know, you can take parsley, you can put it on there. I like basil. So we'll just take a little bit of basil leaves here. Put those basil leaves right on top there like that. Or you could do it different. You could use arugula. Arugula is really a great way also. So we've got the arugula on top of there. And let me get
some fruit.
Some fruit on there.
You could even do some Caribbean style, put a little bit of spicier sauce on there. And what a great way for those to be able to be enjoyed.
Off the side so that you can see the yolks there.
That's beautiful right there, Mark. That's good.
Okay. And,
all right, so these are crabby cakes. What a great way to be able
Crabby
to
Benedict.
enjoy. Yeah, crabby cakes with eggy Benedicts. I mean,
Crabby Benedict.
Crabby Benedicts. And again, you have the best of all in there. You can make this wonderful recipe individually, is just making the crab cakes first, then doing the hollandaise, then at the end just be able to put the muffins in and be able to then poach the eggs, and voila, that is a wonderful brunch. So, Mark, I have another question too. I think that we should ask our viewers to say, would you like to see El Masan start doing Sunday brunches? And I think we could be creative with all this. What do you think?
Let's see. The only way that we're going to know is to hear from our customers.
That's right.
So everybody out there with Viva La Vida, let's hear. Should we have brunch at El Masan? Starting maybe Valentine's Day?
Yes, I think that would be a great way to be able to start. And you only heard it here first, because our Viva La Vida family, our community in Viva La Vida is what inspires us to be able to sit and appreciate what you all do for us and what we can do for you for 2021. All right, Mark.
All right, I'm going to dig into it.
All right, that sounds good. Let's hear what the chef says.
Let's see about a Crabby Benedict.
All right.
Crabby Benedict here. Get every bit of everything in there.